A blessed Monday to us. I think we will not let this Mass pass by without making an important commentary, specifically on the first reading, precisely because there seems to be a change of how one of the characters in the story of Job, by the way, a very, very familiar story to all of us. Bata pa ko kaniadto, kanunay jud kong mamati niining drama na Job. Every year, panahon sa Semana Santa. But what is interesting about the narrative here is that the lectionary, perhaps following a very strict tradition as well, has changed. No, giusab ang pag-present sa usa sa mga characters, one of the characters who is part of the heavenly council. And who is this I'm talking about? It is the Satan. And in the original text, it always has a definite article. And Satan is not a capitalized word. Letter S is not capitalized, but it's just a small s. Because he appears within the council of heaven. That is the reason why it is a sad thing to note that the one that we are reading in the Eucharistic celebration in the Mass is using the capital S, Satan. Because many people, or if not all of us, when we have this Satan as S, huy, sakop di ay siya sa konsilyo sa Ginoo. Well, of course, knowing the story, he used to be part of the heavenly beings. No? Di ba siya man si Lucifer? And Lucifer is the one who actually carried the light. That's why he is called Lucifer, no? The one who is carrying the light. But in the context of the gospel, the story of Job, he is one of the council members. And what did he do? Well, the story is very clear. He challenged God about Job. But what did God do? God allowed him to put Job to the test. And this is now the point I'm going to make about. So next time you hear about this story, note always that it is not Satan with a capital S, but with the Satan. No? In the original Hebrew text, it is Ha-Satan. Naadjud kanunay article, no? Ang tigsulay. And this is very well connected with how we have understood very well, or how we express even in the Lord's Prayer. Because in the Lord's Prayer, we always say there, okay, ang atong naandan is, do not deliver us to the test. But actually, if we base this story in Job, God allowed Job to be tested. That's why the original Greek text of the Our Father in that part is, Kai me isinenkes hemas es perasmon, which literally means, do not allow us to fall into temptation. No? What is not allowed? To fall. But the temptation is allowed. But God is on our side so that we will not fall into the devil's trap. But we are all tested in many different ways, as we also experience. We can testify to it ourselves. So ang pagsulay di ay giginahanglan in order to be strengthened. And that is what God wanted in the first reading today, to give a proof of how Job had to really struggle with all the things that happened to him, despite the disgraces that happened. But it is a process of purification. And every time we pray the Our Father, that is also what we actually say out loud. Do not allow us to fall into temptation. Kaya na pa maghihapoy uban nga daghan kayo masuko pagali nga ngano usbon mangunang pag-ampo good. No? But it's not pag-usab. It is something that we have to understand. Because whether we like it or not, we will always be tested. Okay? Not only from the part of the devil who actually is trying to bring us, or to really, to put us into a disbalanced situation, but we also are testing ourselves. But the only thing that we do, that we ask is not to fall into it. But tests and temptations are always around us. It's always around the bed with a positive purpose to strengthen us. And so as we continue this Eucharistic celebration, whatever comes to mind, whatever we feel in our hearts, whatever we experience, we always first of all ask for the strength that is needed to fight out all these things, especially temptations and trials. Experience them, if needed, as necessary to be strengthened, and at the same time, to be grateful for all these things, because it is for our own good and the good of our brothers and sisters as well. Amen.